Did you know that if you have an Ellen Ripley in the lobby and Jonesy appears, the Houndmaster will have a special voice line?
Easy. It's just a yellow-bellied cat.
Well, the new PTB has come out unexpectedly today, including a new killer,
Just you and me. Odds are in our favor.
a new survivor, 6 amazing new perks, and a new map for Ormond, which will be released later. This update also comes with buffs and nerfs to various licensed killers, so if you're interested in that, check out the pinned comment. Now let's talk about the new killer. Turns out, the leaks were true. The new killer is the Houndmaster, a rich pirate from the Caribbean that comes with her loyal dog, Snug. In-game, Snug is your whole power, giving her tracking, mobility, as well as a really cool skill shot anti-loop power. This is how she works like. Snug can follow 2 commands. So let's talk about the first command, Search. The Houndmaster can command her dog to search in a specific area that she selects. She can also choose a generator so that Snug will go there no matter the distance in the map, which allows you to track survivors from across the map. Once you begin the search, Snug will follow a path to that location that will be marked on the map, and if you choose to follow this path as the killer, you will gain a haste bonus, allowing you to move around the map faster. The moment you leave the path, or if you go on the path from the opposite direction, you lose the haste bonus. The longer the path to the objective takes, the bigger the scent radius of Snug will become. Any survivor that enters the scent radius will be revealed with Killer Instinct, as well as they will get the Hound Sense status effect as shown on the hood. Just like a dog in real life, if you hide in a locker, Snug will still be able to smell you and you will be revealed to the killer. So don't try this as a counter unless you have head on. So what is this special effect Hound Sense for? Well, it's connected with the second command of Snug. So let's talk about Chase. By using the second command, the Houndmaster will make Snug dash forward in a line revealed to you at an incredible speed. Snug does not have collision, so you can surf walls and basically hook tag them, allowing this killer to have an incredible skill ceiling. Chase will also allow Snug to vault windows as well as vault pallets, so survivors are not safe behind them. Once Snug will reach the furthest point from Chase, you can hit this command again in order to redirect the attack and try to hit survivors again. You will control Snug for a short period of time, and during this time, you can select the new chase path that Snug will take, or retreat back to your location. If you miss, or if you retreat, the Houndmaster will receive a short penalty for it. If you hit a survivor with Chase, Snug will bite them and bring them back to your location, allowing you to injure the survivors with a basic attack. If they are hit during a vault animation, Snug will injure them directly, similar to Wesker's Virulent Bound attack. The important part is that survivors have 2 ways to counter this. When you are bit as a survivor, the location of pallets near you will be revealed. You can throw a pallet on the dog in order to stun them and escape. However, you will have a 6 seconds hindrance penalty for doing so. Additionally, if you have a teammate nearby, they can help you remove the dog, forcing Snug to retreat back to the Houndmaster. Falling from a height also cancels Snug's bite. Survivors that are injured while Snug beat them and they have Hound Sense will suffer even more penalties for it. If they are healthy, they will enter the Deep Wound status effect. If they are injured, they will suffer from loud grunts of pain and their blood will be visible for longer in the dying state. Another insane thing about Snug is that if you are bit by the dog, you cannot escape the match. This means that just like with the twins Victor interaction, you can prevent a survivor from escaping as long as you hit your dog. But remember that other survivors can still help them escape. Overall, the Houndmaster is a really interesting killer, and I would say that she is more strong than she is weak. While it's still incredibly early for me to form an opinion on her in terms of strength, I think she has a lot of potential in terms of their mains finding cool ways to play her well. Sometimes, it truly feels like as a survivor, there is nothing you can do to prevent her attack. Add-on wise, she is also really decent, and there are some interesting add-ons that allow her to play in a completely different way. In terms of the one that I think is going to be the absolute best, It's by far the Knotted Rope. That add-on will make your basic attack cooldown be 40% faster, and it can be combined with Save the Best for last, allowing you some double tap potential. There are two problems with her currently in the PTB. The first problem is that targeting Generator seems to be in a very weird place. Sometimes it takes me a long while in order to find the correct angle to have the dog search that Generator. The worst part is that when I tap the search command, the moment the Generator is no longer selected, now there is no way for me to cancel that search. I also would like it if you could command the dog to other locations, like the exit gates for example. My second problem is with the AI of the dog. Sometimes the path will be formed, but the dog gets stuck in a place, just like Nemesis zombies or the Knight's guards, and this makes your search command useless, especially on maps like Larry's. I hope that both of these features are made smoother before the release. Now let's talk about the 3 new perks coming with this killer, and they are all really interesting, starting with my personal favorite, All Shaking Thunder. This perk is basically a coup de grace on steroids. Anytime you fall from a great height, the same as the one that triggers balanced landing, this perk will activate for 16 seconds. During those 16 seconds, your basic attack range is increased by 75%, and this is for every attack you do during those 16 seconds. After that, the perk enters a 5-second cooldown. Survivors will also know when you activate this perk, and the sound effect is pretty loud and global. So I am wondering if this is intentional or not. Combined with Coup de Grace and Unrelenting, you can make your basic attacks have absurdly long range, and this perk is pretty scary to go against as a survivor. And don't get me started on Fingernail Sadako or Michael Myers on tier 3, as this perk is absolutely busted with them. Her second perk is called No Quarter, and this is an anti-healing perk. The moment survivors reach 75% of their heals, this perk will activate, and a bunch of skill checks will start appearing, similar to Merciless Storm. If a survivor fails the skill checks, they become broken for 30 seconds. Keep in mind that this perk only works on self-healing, not altruistic heals. This might sound like a weird perk, but it's actually really decent. The biggest thing it counters is survivors attempting to self-heal during a chase, as this perk makes that completely useless. Medkits are an incredibly popular item to carry as a survivor, so this perk counters them even more, and it might also counter Resurgence, because the moment you interrupt a survivor healing off a hook, they become broken for 30 seconds. Against killers where staying injured is bad, this perk is not bad at all, and the Doctor has a new toy for the impossible skill checks build. And finally, we have a new Scourge hook called Jagged Compass, and this effect is really nice and something we have been wanting for years. Anytime a survivor is unhooked from any hook, it becomes a Scourge hook, helping in those situations where hook RNG is horrible and you cannot get any pain resonance, for example. But that's not all. This perk will also reveal the generator with the most progress after you hook a survivor on a Scourge hook, so it's also a decent information perk. This is for sure going to be a staple in many builds, considering how popular pain resonance is. We have a new face in the fog, Taurie Cain, a Scot, part of the Black Talon cult, and I am so happy that Behavior finally decided to make an original character that is horror inspired and she is actually evil, as her bio is some of the most craziest out of all survivors in the game. Taurie comes with 3 new perks, and let's start with Clean Break. This perk will activate after you finish healing a survivor. When you're getting healed by another survivor, press the secondary button in order to become broken for 60 seconds instead. After that, you become healthy. The point of this perk is to basically save the time you would spend on healing and use that time to either repair generators or reposition in a better spot. I don't think this perk will see much use, considering that most of the times healing perks are just better in order to save time. The only situation where it's good is if the killer forces you off the heal and you're able to survive for 60 seconds, which is something that many players are simply incapable of. Next up, we have a new invocation perk finally after so long, called Treacherous Crows. Just like the previous invocation, you activate it in the basement after an action that takes 60 seconds and also leaves you broken for the rest of the trial. Anytime a survivor is in the terror radius of the killer and the killer scares a crow, their aura is revealed to everyone for 2 seconds. Combined with Eyes of Belmont, this grants you 4 seconds of knowing where the killer will be randomly during the match. It's a nice effect that can help you play in a safe way, but considering the penalty and time you waste in order to activate it, I don't think this perk will be any good. It's a nice bonus to have as a teammate, but not something game breaking in my opinion, especially considering the fact that undetectable killers completely counter this perk. And finally, we have an absolutely insane new perk called Shoulder the Burden. On most of your matches, this perk will not do anything, just like the 10 seconds increase of hooking states. But on the high level, this perk is an absolutely crazy thing to have. Basically, once per trial, you can take the hook state of one of your teammates for yourself. When you do so, you will scream and become exposed for 20 seconds, which on the high level is nothing. In matches where tunneling is crucial in order to win, this perk is a complete game changer, especially against top tier survive with friends who run Deliverance in order to guarantee a non-hook thanks to this perk, as it doesn't matter if you get hooked once, since your teammates can take that hook state and reset you back to 0. Now there is a counterplay for the killer, and that is to chase the survivor who used this perk, which is why the scream and exposed is there, and that's the only counter I found for this perk, as the moment you camp a hook and trade, the result is exactly the same. So killers like Dracula, Pyramid Head or Plague who can guarantee trades, this perk is useless. The most notable case of this perk being a match winning thing is when a decent survivor runs it, as this completely counters the tactic of going for the weakling since they will be trading hook states with a decent survivor. Overall, I don't think these perks are helpful for newer players, and I would go as far as to say that this survivor is the least beginner friendly they have ever released. And finally, let's talk about the new Ormond map. And this map is not coming with the release of the chapter, but instead it will be added a bit later before the end of this year, and we don't know for sure why that is the case. But this map is absolutely fantastic visually, and something I have wanted for a long time. I love when maps look like they are part of a bigger thing instead of just being things found in the void. And in this case, this is a mine found on the other side of Ormond with a gigantic chasm on one of the sides along with an interactive elevator, a multi-floor main building which also comes with a cave as well as a lot of elevation to activate balanced landing. I am very happy with this map, and while I am unsure on how strong it is yet or if it's survivor or killer sided, visually it's one of the best maps they have ever released. And that is all coming with the new chapter releasing early in December. Let me know what you think in the comments, thank you for watching and have a nice day.